Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there friends, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro, and today we're looking at verse 9 in Psalm 7. As I said yesterday, after the word return is used, then we're looking at future judgment. The Lord is coming and He's going to judge. He's going to judge the peoples. He's going to judge us according to the righteousness that is within us, and that righteousness better be the righteousness of Christ, because if we stand on our own before Him, then we are in trouble. Verse 9 says, "Please bring the wickedness of the evil one to an end and establish the righteous." So the righteous God is the one who tries the hearts and the reins. All right, so the wickedness of the evil one, bring it to an end. He says, please do this. So, of course, that's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet because Satan is still like a roaring lion, and he's wandering about seeking whom he can devour. But one day, and that day is coming, there's going to be a great conflagration on the earth, and Satan's armies and God's armies are going to finally clash, and then Satan is going to be taken and cast into the bottomless pit. And then he's going to be in that bottomless pit for 1,000 years, and then he's going to come out of the bottomless pit, and there's going to be another great conflagration of armies. And then, finally, he will be judged at the great white throne in Revelation chapter 20. We see him standing there, and he is thrown into the lake of fire that burns forever and ever. And, of course, all of his angels and all of his lieutenants and all of the thraldom that he's created and all the people that followed him will go there as well. So there is a final judgment. Please bring the wickedness of the evil one to an end. And it's going to come to an end one day. There's an end, then we can read about that end and see when it's going to happen. Of course, we don't have a date. We don't have a calendar date for it, but we do have a scriptural date for it at the great white throne. And establish the righteous. This, of course, happens after the great white throne. The righteous are established in the New Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from God, and that's where the church exists. And, of course, Israel is blessed with the fulfillment of promise, and they are allowed to live in the land and to prosper and to have all that was promised to them in Abraham. So the righteous God is the one who tries the hearts and the reins. The righteous God, again, I said yesterday, this is the source, the very source of our righteousness. It's not my righteousness. It is not my perfection. It is not the righteousness of the group called the church. It is not the righteousness of the group called the Jews. It is the righteousness that He imputes to us because He is righteous. So the righteous God is the one who tries the hearts and the reins. And I'm sure that David, writing this, feels this very personally because he feels like God is trying his hearts and reins, and of course he is. In the death of his son Absalom, David is feeling the guilt of all his poor decisions up to that point. And so he sees God's hand in it. God is trying him. God is refining him. God is making him a stronger man because of it. And so he pens these words, the righteous God. He acts in righteousness. There's nothing that he does that is not in righteousness. He acts in righteousness, and so all of the trying that he does, all of the furnace that he puts us into, all of the pain that we have to go through, all the chastisement that we take, it's all because there is a righteous God who's behind it, and he will judge us in righteousness. And because of his righteousness, ladies and gentlemen, we will stand before him. So he's the one who tries the hearts and the reins. So next week, I hope you'll join me. We're going to do Psalm 7 one more time because we're going to take up in verse 10 and read down through the end of the psalm. So we'll still be in this theme, this Shiggaion of David. I hope you'll join me then here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.